All right, let's dive in. Today, we're tackling the green economy.
Ooh, yeah.
Going beyond just the buzzwords, we're really going to break it down.
Absolutely.
Using this awesome report from the UN Environment Program.
Great source.
Get this. It's not just about saving the planet, though that's obviously a big part of it.
Right.
But we're talking about a potential total shift in how we think about growth, jobs, fairness, the whole shebang.
A whole new way of looking at things, really.
So the UN defines a green economy as low carbon, resource efficient, and socially inclusive. Sounds good on paper.
It does.
But what's actually changing? What are we doing differently?
Let's unpack it.
Okay.
First, low carbon means we're going to seriously cut down on fossil fuels.
Right.
Switching to things like solar and wind energy and even carbon capture to deal with emissions we already have.
So basically changing how we power the world, yeah.
Exactly.
And what about resource efficient? Does that just mean using less stuff?
It's bigger than that. It's about squeezing every bit of use out of resources. Think designing products that last longer, can be fixed easily, and even turning waste into something useful.
Kind of like a circular economy, less trash, more reuse.
That's the idea.
Makes sense. But the socially inclusive part really intrigues me. What's that all about?
It's about making sure everyone benefits from this green economy.
Right.
Creating opportunities, improving livelihoods, especially for communities that relied on industries we're now phasing out.
Like coal mining, for example.
Exactly. Helping those folks transition to green energy jobs, ensuring no one's left behind.
Which brings up a big question.
Yeah.
Isn't there a risk of people losing jobs during this shift? How do we make sure that doesn't happen?
You're hitting on a crucial point. A just transition is key.
I see.
Retraining programs, investment in affected communities, social safety nets, all those things are vital.
So it's not just about the environment, it's about people too.
Absolutely.
The UN report focuses on three main things: advocacy, demonstration, and support. What's going on in those areas?
Advocacy is all about promoting the green economy at every level,
Okay.
from global agreements down to local communities, raising awareness, pushing for policy changes, showing the benefits for everyone.
Building a movement, basically.
You got it. And then there's demonstration, showing the green economy in action.
So real-world examples.
Exactly. The UN is working with countries like Mongolia to implement their national green development policy.
Hold on, Mongolia. Now that's interesting. Tell me more. What makes them such a good example? What challenges are they up against, and what are they doing differently?
Well, Mongolia, they've got this unique set of challenges, you see.
Okay.
Large nomadic population, heavily reliant on mining, and an ecosystem that's super vulnerable to climate change.
So how are they actually putting green principles into their economy?
It's a multi-pronged approach,
Yeah.
really. Promoting sustainable grazing to protect the grasslands,
Makes sense.
investing in renewables to get off coal,
Getting off fossil fuels.
and even building up ecotourism that benefits the locals and conserves biodiversity.
Oh, so they're really weaving sustainability into, everything they do.
Exactly. And that brings us to that third pillar, support.
Right. Support.
The UN provides know-how, helps countries get funding for green projects, and they help everyone share knowledge so they can all learn from each other.
So it's like a global support system for, a sustainable future.
That's the goal.
But here's the question I bet a lot of listeners are thinking. Why should I care about all this? How does the green economy affect me personally?
It's all interconnected, you see.
Okay.
Let's start with jobs. The green economy is going to create tons of new jobs
Oh, interesting.
in fields like renewable energy, sustainable agriculture, green building,
Those all sound pretty cool.
good-paying jobs, future-proof, and they contribute to a better world.
So it's not just saving the planet, it's about economic opportunity too.
Absolutely.
Right.
And then there's your health. Think about all the air pollution from all those traditional industries. That stuff causes respiratory problems, heart disease, even cancer.
It's scary to think about.
The green economy aims to cut those emissions, leading to cleaner air and healthier communities.
That reminds me of something in the UN report.
Yeah.
It said that only 12% of cities worldwide meet the WHO's air quality standards.
It's wild.
Pretty alarming, right?
It really highlights how urgent this all is.
Yeah.
Environmental health and human well-being are inseparable.
Totally agree. So we've got cleaner air, new jobs, a healthier planet. Sounds like a win-win-win to me.
It does.
But let's be real. This is a massive change we're talking about. How do we even start making this happen?
Well, the report says partnerships are key.
Partnerships.
Governments need to make policies that encourage sustainable practices.
Huh?
Businesses need to innovate and adopt green technologies.
Yeah.
And we all need to make conscious choices in our daily lives.
So it's not about waiting for someone else to fix it. It's on all of us. What are some things people and communities can do to contribute?
Lots of things.
Like what?
Supporting local sustainable businesses.
Okay.
Reducing our carbon footprint, like saving energy and using sustainable transportation.
Makes sense.
And speaking up for policy changes.
So it's all about making different choices, big and small.
You got it.
Yeah.
Choices that reflect our values.
I have to admit, though, sometimes it feels overwhelming, like, what difference can I make?
I get it. It's easy to feel that way.
Yeah.
But remember, every action creates a ripple effect.
I like that.
Our choices influence our families, our communities, even the businesses and policymakers who shape the world.
So it's about creating a culture of sustainability, starting from the ground up.
Precisely. The more people join in, the faster things can change.
It's empowering to think about
It is.
that we're not powerless in the face of all these global problems.
We're not.
But here's another thought. This green economy idea, it's still pretty new, right? Are there any downsides we should be aware of? Potential problems?
Yeah, that's a good point. It's smart to think about that stuff.
Yeah.
We got to be careful and thoughtful about this transition. Like with any big change,
Right.
there are going to be bumps in the road.
So what kind of downsides should we be looking out for?
One thing is, all this focus on new green tech.
Yeah.
It could accidentally lead to exploiting new resources.
Oh, so different problems, but still problems.
Right. For example, all those rare earth minerals that go into solar panels and electric car batteries.
I've heard about that.
If we're not careful, getting those minerals could lead to some unsustainable mining practices.
So it's not just about new tech, it's about the whole process being sustainable.
The whole supply chain, exactly.
That makes sense. What else?
Another thing is equity.
Oh, right, and making sure it's fair.
Even though the green economy is supposed to create opportunities for everyone, there's a chance some communities could get left behind.
Yeah, especially in developing countries, maybe?
Yeah, if they don't have the resources or infrastructure to be part of this new economy.
It's like what we were talking about before. A just transition needs to benefit everyone.
Exactly. Not just the wealthy nations.
Seems like avoiding these problems takes a lot of planning,
It does.
international cooperation, and a real commitment to social justice.
Couldn't agree more. It also means we need to keep researching, keep talking,
Yeah.
and be ready to adjust our approach as we learn more.
So it's not like a one-time fix, it's an ongoing process.
It is constantly learning and evolving.
Wow, this deep dive has really given me a lot to think about.
Me too.
It's clear that the green economy isn't just some abstract idea.
It's not.
It's complex, it's changing, and it has the potential to completely change the world.
For the better, hopefully.
For sure. If anyone wants to learn more, I definitely recommend checking out the UN Environment Program website.
Yeah, it's a great resource.
They've got tons of info on green technologies, sustainable development, all that good stuff.
It's a great place to start.
Well, thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the green economy.
It's been a pleasure.
We hope you found it interesting and thought-provoking.
I hope so too.
Remember, even small actions can make a big difference.
Absolutely.
By making mindful choices and having these important conversations, we can work together to create a more just and sustainable world.
That's the dream.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep asking questions.
See you then.